Hello and welcome to my afternoon show. Today I'm going to teach you how to make a pinhole camera. Did you know that there's evidence that suggests that camera technology is old as the 5th century? Since I remember, I've used cameras, and I'm sure you have too. Digital, film, disposable, smaller and smaller, better and better every year. Now, what is a pinhole camera? A pinhole camera is a camera made out of household materials, and it actually works. What are we going to need for this project? We're going to need an X-Acto knife. We're going to need a pen, a pair of scissors, some black electrical tape. Now make sure it's black electrical tape. A juice box, this is going to be your camera frame. Some normal tape. A piece of cardboard, I just used my utility knife package. An empty can. An old film canister, you can just ask for it at your photography department and in a local pharmacy. And a new film. You're also going to need a pin, obviously, and a paper towel. Now, first step is to take your juice box and you're going to draw a 1 inch by 1.5 inches square on one side. And on the other side, you're going to draw a 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch square right in the center of your previous square. It's got to look something like this. Now once you've done that, you take your X-Acto knife and you're going to cut it really carefully. Now be sure not to cut yourself because these things are sharp. Once you finish that, it should look something like this. Now take your electrical tape and tape out all the rough edges on the big side because this is where your film is going to slide and you don't want it scratching. Also make sure to tape the hole, the drinking hole, because you don't want the light getting through it. Tape it inside and out if it's possible. Now put your camera box aside and we're going to make the actual lens now. You got to take your can and cut a piece of metal just big enough to cover the small hole in the box. Once you've done that with your X-Acto knife, it should look something like this. You're going to take the pin, and I'm going to use my box here as base, and I'm going to put a hole through it. And that is my aperture. That's where my light is going to go in and how my picture is going to be produced. Once you've done that, you got to tape your lens to your box. Now take your black electrical tape. Now like I said, make sure it's black. You can't use duct tape or anything else. This is the best for the job. Now make sure you pull it off correctly. Now we're going to cut 4 pieces to taper around. Now make sure your hole pairs up with the big square behind. And just a funny fact, cameras can be made out of anything, not just a juice box. You can use a Pringles can, you can use an oatmeal box, you can use, hell, a cereal box. Now, once we are done this, you're going to have the frame of your camera. The next step is going to require you to use the film canisters. We're going to put this aside. We're going to get the empty film canister, and we're going to grab our new film canister. We're going to open it. Now, new films have something called the leader. Now, this allows the cameras to pull it, and it allows you to take several pictures. Now, we're not going to need this, so I'm going to ask you to cut that. We'll go right ahead and cut it. Now, your objective now is to tape both canisters together with the normal Scotch tape, obviously because the black tape is too thick. Once you've done that, it's going to look something like this. Now, it doesn't matter if the tape is visible, this is going to be hiding anyways. Now, you got to bring back to your camera box and make sure that your film fits right over the big hole you made behind. Perfect. We're going to put this down and we're going to take the cardboard. We're going to cut a 2 inch by 2 inch square. Just about. Once we cut it, we're going to grab the black electrical tape and we're going to tape it horizontally, preferably, so there is no friction with the film. Once you've done that, it should look something like this. Now you're going to place this over your film. Now make sure it covers it all. And basically, it's going to look something like this. Now, the last step is just taping it all up, which we're going to do right now. Now you gotta make sure that there's no light going through, because this will ruin your pictures. Now when you take a picture with a pinhole camera, it's important to realize that you control the exposure time. So you either leave it out for a couple of minutes, leave it out for a couple of hours, and you play around with it. You develop several rolls, and see different results. And with time, you're going to learn how to take perfectly good pictures with your pinhole camera. Now that it's taped, you need to tape it even more. Make sure there's no holes. Tape it all around. Make sure there's no light holes that could ruin your camera. Perfect. It doesn't look too pretty, but at the end you could decorate it, wrap it around in something, you could paint it, you could do whatever you want with it. Now that you got your camera, you need one final step, and that is the lens cover. That is to avoid your camera getting ruined. We put this lens cover right over the little hole. Can't see it anymore. And you're finally finished. Now, before you take a picture, obviously the film that's in here, it's burned already. So you take your pen cap, this is what I'm going to use, and you roll your film 5 times. You can use a key, and you can use whatever you want to roll your film. Once you've rolled your film 5 times, you open your lens cover, and you set it down, and you take a picture. Well guys, that's how to make a pinhole camera. I hope you guys enjoy this project and try it at home. Have a good day.